Leonardo da Vinci was born on April 15, 1452, in the hamlet of Anciano, near the town of Vinci in the Republic of Florence, a region that would later become part of modern-day Italy. He was the illegitimate son of Ser Piero da Vinci, a respected Florentine notary, and a peasant woman named Caterina, likely a domestic servant. Because he was born out of wedlock, Leonardo did not receive a formal classical education in Latin and Greek, which was typical for young men of scholarly ambition during the Renaissance. Nevertheless, his natural talent, curiosity, and observational skills quickly set him apart. Around the age of 14, Leonardo moved to Florence and entered into an apprenticeship with Andrea del Verrocchio, one of the leading artists and craftsmen of the time. In Verrocchio's busy workshop, Leonardo was exposed to a wide range of disciplines: painting, sculpture, drafting, mechanics, metallurgy, and carpentry. He also assisted in the preparation of altarpieces and sculptures and collaborated on artworks, most notably painting the angel and part of the landscape in Verrocchio's The Baptism of Christ, which so impressed his master that, according to tradition, Verrocchio never painted again. Leonardo became an independent master in Florence in 1478, receiving commissions such as the Adoration of the Magi, though he left many works unfinished as he frequently moved on to new intellectual challenges. In 1482, he relocated to Milan and entered the service of Ludovico Sforza, the Duke of Milan. In a famous letter, Leonardo presented himself not primarily as a painter, but as a military engineer capable of designing bridges, fortifications, siege weapons, and water systems. During his 17 years in Milan, he painted the Virgin of the Rocks, developed stage designs for court festivities, and created his most ambitious mural, The Last Supper, painted between 1495 and 1498 in the refectory of the convent of Santa Maria del Grazie. Despite using an experimental technique that caused the paint to deteriorate within decades, The Last Supper remains one of the most studied and revered masterpieces in the world due to its dramatic composition, use of perspective, and psychological depth. In addition to his artistic output, Leonardo filled dozens of notebooks, today known as the Codex Atlanticus, Codex Leicester, and others, with thousands of sketches, diagrams, and mirror-written notes covering anatomy, botany, geology, flight, mechanics, hydrodynamics, optics, and architecture. His anatomical studies included detailed dissections of human cadavers, where he meticulously drew muscles, bones, organs, and even fetuses in the womb. His scientific method was based on direct observation and experimentation, and he often attempted to apply mathematical principles to understand natural forms. He also made early contributions to the study of fluid motion and the principles of flight, designing machines such as ornithopters, gliders, and even a helicopter-like device, centuries before aviation became reality. Leonardo's interests were so broad that he often left commissions unfinished, such as the equestrian statue of Francesco Sforza, a colossal bronze monument that was never cast due to the outbreak of war and the diversion of bronze to make cannons. After the fall of Ludovico Sforza in 1499, Leonardo left Milan and spent time in various cities, including Venice, where he advised on defensive strategies against Turkish invasion, and Florence, where he painted the Battle of Anghiari, a massive fresco for the Palazzo Vecchio that was ultimately abandoned. During this period, he also painted the Mona Lisa, a portrait of Lisa Gherardini, the wife of a Florentine merchant. The painting is famed for its subtle gradations of tone, innovative use of atmospheric perspective, and the subject's mysterious, ambiguous expression, achieved through Leonardo's technique of sfumato, a blending of tones and colors without harsh outlines. In the early 1500s, Leonardo worked as a military engineer for Cesare Borgia, inspecting fortresses and sketching topographic maps with astonishing accuracy. He continued to study water flow, weaponry, and city planning. In 1513, he moved to Rome, where he found less success, as the Medici Pope Leo X favored younger artists like Raphael and Michelangelo. Frustrated and aging, Leonardo accepted an invitation from King Francis I of France and moved to Amboise in 1516, bringing with him several paintings, including the Mona Lisa. He was given the title of Premier Painter, Engineer, and Architect of the King, and lived at the Château du Clos-Luce, near the royal residence. He continued to draw and explore scientific questions until his death on May 2, 1519, possibly in the arms of King Francis, according to legend. Leonardo was buried in the chapel of Saint Hubert at the Château d'Amboise, although his remains were later disturbed during the French Wars of Religion and the precise location of his bones is uncertain. Today, he is remembered not only for his extraordinary artistic legacy but also as a symbol of intellectual freedom, interdisciplinary genius, and the pursuit of knowledge for its own sake. His legacy spans art, science, and technology. He foresaw inventions that would not become reality for centuries, and his work continues to be studied for its insight, innovation, and beauty. Leonardo da Vinci is not simply remembered as a painter or inventor, he is celebrated as the archetype of the Renaissance mind, endlessly curious, creatively fearless, and profoundly human.